I'm very happy with the outcome of this project. I feel like there's been so much input from community, and not just, prior to the project, through gathering the stories, through the engagement sessions, but also throughout the process of creating the mural. Lots of people stopped and really expressed their, whether it be gratitude or they had questions for me, or it really sparked a lot of conversation, and it was really a great experience. So a big part of the project was a mentorship aspect. So there was a young woman, Dana Belcourt, who was my mentee. She's an emerging young talent, and it was great to have her on the project, and she's very aligned with similar values in terms of like the moon cycles and the water, including imagery that really represents the divine feminine and honoring that.
Well, the concept of the painting is like the idea of making sure women get home safely, which is like kind of born from the idea of like our missing sisters and like Indigenous women going missing, and it like became this idea of like just women getting home safely. And there's like a big people that like don't feel like secure in their own neighborhoods and their own homes because of like even Edmonton's like sometimes it's like pretty sketchy here.
It was I was very honored to have the Grandmothers Society join us for the opening, the Cookham Society. Teachings of the grandmothers have just been so profound in my life, and just was very honored to have them there.
And we have to honor these children, and I'm so grateful for them because they have a lot of self-esteem. When I was their age, I was scared to death, and they're the ones that are keeping the Cookhams alive, and we're keeping the children alive. We work together.
Some people are very familiar with the red dresses and came up and expressed their gratitude for including that into the piece. And others, they learned about our stolen sisters. They learned about what's truly happening in our country.
Push for Angel Way had started in Iqaluit with the mayor of Iqaluit, and it was a way to always remember all women who are victims of violence. So we all met together and we talked about the significance for Edmonton, especially because there have been so many women, many Indigenous women and women of other heritage who have been victims of violence, whether it was street exploitation violence or domestic violence. And so we wanted to make Angel Way happen in Edmonton. Well, Gloria was she was a wonderful woman who identified herself as a survivor of some pretty challenging life circumstances. And it was when she was in prison that she discovered she was also an artist. And so she often described herself as an artist warrior or an artist activist. And that is what she brought forth into the community after her time in prison. And at the same time, she never forgot about the women who were in prison. Oh my, she organized a number of events to bring community resources into the EIFW. Her heart was so big for all people who had struggled, in many of the ways that she had.
Yeah, so for Paint the Rails, I'm one of the 2 lead artists. So my involvement so far has really encompassed mentorship is a big part of my role. So I'm mentoring a young artist named Matthew Cardinal, and then I'm also working in collaboration with the other lead artist named Carla Taylor. And we're taking on the creative lead, deciding what the murals will be comprised of, how they're going to look, where they're going to go. So we actually did several site visits to a bunch of different ETS locations and chose some spots and locations that we felt like were the best options for art for us. And then we talked to ETS and kind of found some choices that were the best fit for both of us. So yeah, really it's just been really a lot of creative work and then the mentorship component as well. So they helped us just install the panels direct to the surface and we just worked really closely with them. They were really patient as we kind of moved things around back and forth. You know, artists like to be picky. So they were really helpful with that part of the process. And now what we're doing is just doing touch-ups around the panels. We're covering over the screw holes, just a few little things like that. One of the things that came out of one of our early engagement sessions was the idea of using the artwork as an opportunity to celebrate the animals and natural life forms that lived here before Edmonton became a big city. So that's one of the inspirations for this wolf painting. There's some Cree syllabics in the background here, and what we've done is incorporated them into the Northern Lights, and these are the syllabics for the Cree word for wolf.
Young emerging artists. We've got Matthew Cardinal. We got Dana Belfort. And we've got our lead artists, AJ Louden and Carla.
They gave us basically free reign. We had a lot of options, all of this wall space in the stations. And we chose this stairwell because we felt like it was a big part of a lot of different people's transit pathways every day, but it didn't have a lot of love in terms of color and creativity. So we wanted to add some life and some stories into that space.
I feel this whole process was really good. I mean, I was able to get reconnected with the roots of this territory, and it's definitely a learning curve, but you know, it's just the beginning, like one of the first many projects to come. So yeah, man, I feel really good.
So the opportunity to be able to represent diverse stories from different Edmontonians, offering stories from people that you don't get to hear from, that opportunity to share those stories with the rest of the city is a really good one, and I think it's an opportunity to create some powerful change and open up some dialogue between different groups of people in the city.
Another part of this project was that the John Humphrey and ETS have been open to me as a mother, which is so key. Like to give me that opportunity as a mother to engage in this project and work with my schedule, because I have 2 small babies, and not every organization will work with that. And I think that's just part of the spirit of the John Humphrey, is that kind of acceptance and making space for people who are in different situations and giving them opportunity. So I'm very appreciative